All right, less than a week away from draft night, so let's dive into another mock draft. And this time, it's the perfect pick to start out. Plus, there's also a few other steals as well. So let's talk about it. But first, let's run it. What's up, guys? I hope you're having a fantastic weekend, and it's crazy because we're only like a couple days away from the draft. So you know what? It's time to get on, do version 2 of the mock draft. I had it last week. Got some crazy comments. I understand, some weird, strange trades and everything else, but everyone's entitled to their opinion. But this draft, I figured, let's get on here, the most ideal draft, kind of most realistic that we see Howie might do, and then see what happens. So as a reminder for the picks, just to make sure we're all on the same page, we've got round 1, pick 22, 50, 53, 120, 161, 171, 172, and 210. Therefore, we're only going to go for 6 rounds. Yet also as a reminder, I'm going to use Pro Football Focus because I kind of like their draft simulator a little bit more than the others, but we're going to try to keep it as realistic as possible. No crazy trades. We'll probably trade some, but not crazy trades. The settings are standard settings. I'm not doing randomized stuff or anything like that. So let's see how we do. The Chicago Bears are on the clock, and unsurprisingly, they take Caleb Williams. Assume that would happen. Let's see. Drake May goes second to the Washington Commanders. Patriots, Marvin Harrison Jr. The Cardinals will go with Malik Neighbors. Chargers, Brock Bowers, number 5. Pretty early for the tight end. He's great, but Joe Alt, number 6 to the Giants. Dallas Turner to the Titans. Talise Fuaga to the Falcons. Rome Odunze to the Chicago Bears. Jets get Cooper Dejean. The Vikings are going to take Jaden Daniels. There you go, 11, Jaden Daniels. J.J. McCarthy at 12 to the Broncos. Raiders take Terrion Arnold. And the Saints take Jared Verse. The Colts are going to go with Graham Barton. Okay, so I'm going to stop it here because this is playing perfectly. My best case scenario, there's very little chance. But if this is where we're at right now, we are immediately calling to trade up. I don't want the Seahawks to go and get a guy. I don't want anyone else to trade up and get him. You probably know who I'm talking about at this point. If you're not following along, 1 second. As soon as I execute this trade, it'll be a very easy selection for you. But let's see what it takes to trade up because it's exactly what we're going to do. Seattle, trading the 16. We're going to give them 22. What else do we have to give up here? Maybe trading away 53. Let's see about next year's third. 22 and next year's third. I would do that for sure. So let's see if they will do that. 67% chance, offer the trade, and they say no. Okay, well, that's fine. Let's see if we need to do another trade or another offer in this. Maybe a 172, the third and 172 and 22. Let's offer that. There you go. And obviously, come on, this is a given. If this falls in your lap, there is no way you don't take Quinyon Mitchell. Y'all know I'm very high on Quinyon Mitchell. My best cornerback in the draft. You could argue Terrion Arnold. That's fine. But if we need a cornerback, and Howie Roseman's traded up 4 of the last 5 drafts. If his guy is still available on the board around the 16 range, I feel like 12, 13 is probably still a little too early, but in that 16, 17 range, if there's a guy that falls here, he trades up and goes and gets him. This is a no-brainer in my opinion. You get Terrion Arnold, and the selection is practically already made for you. I know you have Latu Latu. You can make the argument. Let me know in the comments below if you think it should be Latu here over Quinyon Mitchell, but to me, it's a no-brainer. The talent that Quinyon Mitchell brings, it's got to go with that. So for the first pick for the Eagles, pick number 16 in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select Quinyon Mitchell out of Toledo. And what it says here is no FBS cornerback forced more incompletions over the past 2 seasons than Mitchell. He did so while playing an off-coverage role in a cover 3 heavy scheme. He would align himself 8 to 10 yards off the line of scrimmage and keep his eyes on the quarterback and wait to pounce. His recovery speed and acceleration are both elite, even for NFL standards, which is why Mitchell recorded some of the best advanced coverage metrics over a 2-year sample size in the PFF college era. He has all the ability in the world to be a cornerback 1 at the next level, but his lack of experience in press coverage could stop him from being a unanimous first-round pick on every team's board. Again, not on my board, though. He is a for sure unanimous number 1 pick. Again, that off-ball coverage is great for Fangio's system and scheme. Like, it fits perfectly. Plus, let's remember, I mentioned Darius Slay as his basically number 1 first guy that he watches, the film he analyzes. So it's a perfect fit when we talk about guys coming in, getting to learn from that other player. I mean, this is what the Eagles do. That's what they bring in for Jason Kelsey's replacement and Cam Jurgens, the number of other players, Lane Johnson's replacement. Hopefully, maybe we get in this draft as well. But this is a fantastic pick. By the way, if you haven't hit that like button, hit that already. We just got Quinyon Mitchell. Now, let's move on and see what we get in the next round. So we got Quinyon Mitchell. I'm sitting here extremely happy. If this is draft night, by the way, come hang out with me and Thomas. We're going to be streaming live for the whole thing, giving away lots of awesome stuff. And if we get Quinyon Mitchell, I'm going to give away more just because I'm going to be in a great mood. So hopefully we do get Quinyon Mitchells for everyone's sake. But now we wait till 50, see what we can get there. I'm going to speed up the draft just a little bit. There's no sense in taking forever through this. We can, kind of see some of the picks there, but I'm not going to watch every pick and take 3 seconds or whatever on one. Chop Robinson, 29 in the first round. There you go. Jackson Powers-Johnson and Tyler Guyton at 32 rounds out round 1. Peyton Wilson, first linebacker off the board. Xavier Legette, 38. Keon Coleman, Adisa Isaac to 42 to the Texans. Bo Nix, 45. Makes it all the way to 45 before selected there. And all right, so the Eagles are on the clock. Number 50. We have some options here. Y'all know that I just always love the Edgerrin Cooper pick. It just feels like you have to. And if I'm building the best draft possible, what I think we need to do, who we need to select, it's a no-brainer. Like I really have to go there. However, just for the sake of it, we will take a look and see what are your other options. Are there other guys that you like you might want to bring in here? Jatavion Sanders, the Eagles have met with a Zoom call. Andrew DeCecco had that report. Ricky Pearsall, there's interest, met at the Senior Bowl, also the NFL Combine. So possibility of a receiver. Javon Bullard, you got a great safety there. Jaden Hicks, Jonah Ellis. Jonah Ellis' three-cone is crazy, blazing fast. We do need an edge. We just got our corner, but I don't think it's ready yet. Kieran, I always say the name terrible. I think it's Kieran Amagaji, I believe. But anyway, that tackle from Yale, there's some potential there. Edgerrin Cooper, I know the rankings, he's a lot further down here, but to me, it's just a no-brainer pick. I mean, you don't wait here and miss out on your guy. We could possibly draft one here and then draft another one at 53 because we've got both of those. But I might be looking to trade back. After you get an Edgerrin Cooper, we traded up, lost a little bit of draft capital. If we can get something back, in my mind, that's ideal because, again, there's a lot of value in the late second round, even really the full third round range. So possibly looking at doing that here. I think that's where I'm going to go with. Take Edgerrin Cooper. Not going to get cute. It just seems like too obvious of a pick. In real life, when we're doing draft night, I don't know that he's going to be available at 50, but if he is, this draft has fallen perfectly. So for pick number 50, the Philadelphia Eagles in the 2024 draft select linebacker out of Texas A&M, Edgerrin Cooper. And now that you need a reminder, because we've talked about him a number of times, but Cooper has the length and athleticism to be a starting caliber linebacker in the NFL in a downhill role. At 6'3", 230 pounds, Cooper brings a lot of athleticism to the linebacker position. He possesses top-tier change of direction, burst, and pursuit speed. His best work comes when he keeps things in front of him, flying in for tackles at the line of scrimmage and towards the sidelines. Of course, yes, there's a little bit of a lack of anticipation and certainly like deeper coverage roles. That's a little bit of a hesitation there, but it's nothing glaring, and plus he can kind of pick that up and learn because quite honestly, if you listen to Nakobe Dean's press conference recently, obviously the acquisition of Devin White, he's most likely not coming in and starting on day one. He could, and that would be fantastic because he's got a lot of potential there, but I love him in the Vic Fangio scheme. So once again, another great pick. I believe this is a perfect draft so far. Hit the like button if you've not already. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, so we took Edgerrin Cooper here. Now at 53, do we make a selection or do we trade back? I like the idea of trading back here because it's so close. But, you take a look at it, there is some options. You've got options available, like we talked about. Jatavion Sanders is still there. Ricky Pearsall, my favorite, very close with a Malachi Corley. But probably my favorite option is when it comes to receivers, Ricky Pearsall. So I would love that. It'd be great. But your next pick's not till 120 if you do so. And I feel like maybe you trade back, try to get into that third round. You've already picked in the first, you pick in the second. Get a third round selection here possibly and see what we can do. So let's see just in terms of what trades might be available in this sense, if it is worth it. If not, we may just sit tight. But 82 looks like the first option from the Colts or 106 from the Titans. So that might be a possibility. Let's see. If we go 82 for 53 and we take 117, I was hoping for, something more like in the 70s, but we're only getting the offers here from 82 or 106. I think I might have to say no. My goal was trading back, but this to me is there's not enough value, I feel like, of trading back in the acquisition of picks that I can get at 53. And we've already got a cornerback. We've already got our linebacker. You could go tackle here. Let me know in the comments. Those of you watching this, let me know in the comments what you would have done here. I feel like I've got a good inclination of where I want to go, and this may be the first more polarizing pick on this side because Kieran Amagaji is there's a lot of potential there. We talk about Lane Johnson replacement. Do you want to bring that in? Christian Haynes has met with the Eagles. There's you could go further down. I guess Malachi Corley. We still need an edge, but I just don't know if I'm going to go their defense again. Ricky Pearsall, there is a ton to like here, and if he's still available at 53, I think I got to take the value. We go best player available. If we just talk about that, I don't know that you could argue against it. I personally can't. If you can, that's fantastic. Let me know in the comments. But yeah, I'm going to take it. 53, the Philadelphia Eagles select wide receiver out of Florida, Ricky Pearsall. I mean, this dude is my favorite receiver option realistically for the Eagles. And what it says here is Pearsall is a 3-star recruit, also played safety in high school. He started his career at Arizona State before transferring to Florida in 2022. He's a projected slot receiver, and his slot skill set is about as good as one could hope. He's savvy and nuanced in his route running, winning in so many ways with a diverse route tree. His feet are quick and elusive, which allows him to be more of a vertical threat than his straight line speed alone could create. And although he won't intimidate defenders on the line of scrimmage, he will once the ball is snapped, because he's a ready-made slot receiver who can contribute early in his NFL career. I think that's the ultimate thing for me. I realize that we have Paris Campbell and we've got Devontae Parker and possible other options for that wide receiver 3, but Pearsall, I think he immediately slots in. He's a 6'1", no pun intended with the slot, by the way, but 6'1", 192, almost 24 years old, so I get a little bit older, but he's very polished. I mean, he's very ready from the beginning, what that scouting report was saying, so love that pick. Now let's see if we can kind of trade up, because I don't want to wait till 120. But let's see if we can move up just a little bit here. I'm not going to trade early third round, but I don't want to miss out on the third round. I will say that. So thinking maybe somewhere around like the 80s, if we can trade something away and move on up. I know we've already getting rid of some capital there, but I don't want to miss out on what we could have for some potential. So I'm going to pause it, see if we can move up here with Cleveland. Let's see what they might want for 85. Let's give up 120. And yeah, this might not happen. Yep, not enough. That's the detriment, really. I mean, when it comes down to it, we've got not enough capital to move up in this scenario, so we're going to miss out on some guys that I was really hoping for, but I like the first 3 picks. I don't think you can pass them up, certainly with the trades that were available where we were at. If there were more, like I said, I would have preferred to trade back from 53, ideally, and pick up a couple picks, maybe the 90 and 100 range, or even 85. But nothing here. So we're going to resume, maybe trade towards the back end of the third round or early fourth round. We'll see. Cooper Beebe goes at 88. That would have been a good potential. Mason McCormick, it's also another one. Got a lot of guards, interior offensive linemen that are going off the board. Jeremiah Trotter Jr., 97. There he goes. We already got our linebacker, though. Into the fourth round. Okay, so I'm going to pause it here because there's still some potentials out there that I've not seen come off the board yet. And maybe now we can entice the Cardinals with a 120 and, yeah, let's do 171. 120, 171, move up to 104. All right, we're going to offer that trade. There you go. We've moved up. So here's where we're at. You've got edge that we still need. Because remember, we got a corner, linebacker, wide receiver. I feel like we need edge and we need offensive linemen. So that's kind of where I'm thinking between these. Edge or offensive line. Take a look at some others, but you've got Javon Solomon, might be a potential there. Also Dominic Puny. You could go tight end. Ben Sinnott, I love. There's so much ability there, but we've gotten our receiver. We're gonna have to take a choice here, make a choice here that ultimately we're gonna get one or the other. It's not gonna be all of them. We got a receiver. There's Anaya Smith, Matt Goncalves. There's an option. A little bit further down, ranked 120, but the Eagles, they like him. They showed up to Pitt's Pro Day. I think Puny might be the play here. If you're going to go for a backup for Lane, that might be the option. Again, we can go back to edge and just take a quick look. If there's one other guy that you like and you want to bring in, it's probably between Javon Solomon or Dominic Puny. Okay, I just need to not overthink this, quite honestly, because I traded back up into this spot thinking value-wise, Not seeing Javon Solomon come off the board. That's the only other edge that I felt like trading up in that scenario. Muhammad Kamara might have fallen there at 120, but I mean, again, Javon Solomon, his production, 16, 17 sacks. I mean, the ability is there. You got a ton of athleticism. Used to be outside linebacker, moved to defensive end. I think that plays a big factor as well in a Vic Fangio type of defense. So if you're looking to add another guy, we need the pass rush rotation. You're going to get someone else. Yes, we do need an offensive tackle, so we'll probably get one here in a little bit. But to me, if he's still available here at this point, it does make sense to trade up, take Javon Solomon, and that's where we're going to go with. So 104, we're going to take Javon Solomon, edge out of Troy. And just in case you're not familiar with Solomon, it says he may not pass the off-the-bus eye test for an NFL edge defender, but he fits the bill as an athlete. He's gained more than 30 pounds since his high school recruiting days and moved from outside linebacker to defensive end throughout his college career. He has a good first step to get off the ball, but his flexibility and change of direction ability to give bigger offensive tackles fits are even more impressive. In 2022, he won mostly just on athleticism. But in 23, his hand usage, speed, violence, and precision improved dramatically, which was a catalyst for his FBS leading 16 sacks. Which is also why PFF says his athletic ability should yield a rotational pass rush role at worst. Come on, I mean, that's literally what we're trying to do here, is make the most impactful players that can come in, make an impact from day one, play some time. He's not starting. He's behind Bryce Huff, Josh Sweat, but throw him in there with Nolan Smith, BG, maybe another guy, Julian Aquara, Zach Bond. We got a lot of potentials out there that can really make an impact. We're sitting pretty. 104, we traded up to get him, but it makes sense to me. Like I said, the edge rusher position, that was the last one that made sense of going up and getting a guy. You got an athlete on that side. So now we wait till 161. I'm going to speed it up just a little bit because we got a ways to go. We're not going to sit here for forever. See what we do at 161 and 210. We got 2 picks remaining. Offensive tackle is, like I already said, obviously a need. You could go running back as well, tight end if something's available. So let's see where that falls as we have the long wait to 161, and here we are. Interesting. Of course, Jaheim Bell's going to be at the very top. Am I going to not take an offensive tackle? You got Steen at right guard now. You know, there's the belief that he may start. I'm not sure that you could possibly get an interior offensive lineman in the draft as well, or someone who has that hybrid flexibility. But based on this draft and the way that it's going, you know, you say it every single time, but take the best player available. Jaheim Bell is a playmaker waiting to happen. Does that make, do you take a tight end here and not go offensive line? Oh my gosh, there's not as many options, especially if we're taking a look and saying, hey, who do we want for Lane's backup on this side? Walter Rouse, Javon Foster, Katie Levison, Ethan Driscoll. I don't know. I think I've got to wait. Jaheim Bell to me makes the most sense in terms of best player available. And if you want impact guys, you know, there's that. We've already got our corner, DeCamarion Richardson, I talked about, crazy athlete, lots of potential there. Very raw, does have some, you know, glaring mistakes. He's not the best in terms of like pure coverage, but he has tools and ability. Maybe a little rigid, not as fluid, but we're talking about really late rounds here. I don't know. I mean, Jim Nagy also was mentioning Jaheim Bell being the best playmaking tight end in the last decade. Not this past draft class, but the past decade. So that says something as well. I think I might have to go that direction. Again, I'm just looking at, hey, make the best draft possible, best player available. I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to hope and pray that Stout, we know Stout can do it, but I'm going to hope and pray that with 210, assuming who falls there, that Stout can make do with whoever we get him, or we just stick with the depth that we have off of free agency, maybe pick up somebody else, but I like the playmaking ability. Jaheim Bell. That's what we're going to go with. So, pick 161 for the Philadelphia Eagles in the 2021 draft, Jaheim Bell, tight end out of Florida State. And again, I talked about him recently, but this dude is like a running back who also catches like receiver and make plays all the time. That's why he's the 5th most athletic tight end. Now, there's also some concern with his run blocking, which I brought up. Alberto has the same issue. A lot of tight ends do, but it's still with the potential that he has, the playmaking ability, I think this is a solid pick for the 5th round. Taking Jaheim Bell at 161, so now the last remaining pick is 210, as we will speed this thing up and get to the last pick here. And who we're going to go with? One last remaining pick. Do we go tackle? Do we get a guy for Stout? Or do we look and see about getting a running back? Dylan Lauby's out there. Dylan Johnson, Jace McClellan. Dwight McLaughlin, that's a good corner that I like. But again, we've already got our corner in Quinyon Mitchell. I think you got to go with possibility of a tackle here. The only other spot that I would say is running back. I would say it's tackle or running back for me. You just take a look at the two options here of who you might take. I think it might be, gosh, I don't know. Running back there's just a lot to like on that side. Not much. Ethan Driscoll could go that direction. All right, as much as I want to take tackle or think, hey, we need it for depth-wise, I'm going to go a draft here without taking that in the belief of, hey, Lane Johnson is playing for at least 2 more, maybe 3 more seasons. We get a guy next draft. I know that's crazy, but the way this draft fell, had to take best player available. I think I'm going to take Dylan Lauby. Just the ability that he has. He's another weapon. Might be too many skill players here, and I totally get it if you want to argue that in the comments, but I'm going to take Dylan Lauby. So the last pick for the Eagles, 210, is Dylan Lauby, running back out of New Hampshire. So now let's see where that analyzes our draft, where they have us graded after taking the final pick there. Again, I realized that we did not take the tackle that maybe people thought or, assumed that we should have. So let me know in the comments. But here you go. You've got a A+ for a Quinyon Mitchell. You got a C+ for Edgerrin Cooper. You got an A for Ricky Pearsall, B+ for Javon Solomon, B for Jaheim Bell, B for Dylan Lauby, and that gives us an A. There you go. Hey, not too bad. Better than last grade of the draft, but again, these are gradings. Take them with a grain of salt. But anyway, there's your picks. There's who we have for this draft. Take a look at it. Let me know your thoughts. What should I have done differently? When you take a look at this draft and where we were placed, I'm just saying this to me is about the perfect scenario outside of the tackle or offensive line that you can go with. But again, you're not going to fill every single void unless you trade. But as soon as I started trading back and acquiring picks in the last mock draft, I get a lot of hate for saying that's unrealistic and it's not going to happen. So I would be super happy. You get Quinyon Mitchell, Edgerrin Cooper, Ricky Pearsall, Javon Solomon, add to the edge rushing depth. You're helping out the defense, which really needs it. O-line, you got some guys you can move around. Steen has that versatility, right guard, right tackle. Matt Hennessy, maybe possibility of playing some guard. I know it's more of center side, but there's some good potential, and maybe you acquire a guy through free agency or trade. So let's not count that out, but be pretty happy about this. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments, and we will catch you again on draft night. So a reminder to come hang out with me and Thomas, where again, the link and details are in the description. But if you want to be a part of the NFL Draft League, it is not too late. Any amount, Venmo or Cash App, and I'll automatically send you the link to sign up for that. Whoever gets the most picks and predictions during the first round right will win a jersey of their choice. And also, just by entering any amount, you automatically get entered into the drawing. So the more entries, $1 one entry that you do there, gets you better chances for the randomized spinner on draft night. So we will see you guys then. More videos to come, but appreciate you joining. Until next time, this has been the Philly Special.